Hi everyone. As we navigate through these difficult challenges, I will be pausing any further updates on the Celsius situation until I know what's going on. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Ray's Review. Sorry for that bad joke. But I just, in my usual style, I have to add a little bit of humor and comedy to my videos. Alright, so what do I think about the updated Celsius situation? Nothing has really changed since the last video. Not a whole lot of new information. I know there was that AMA with Alex Mashinsky not being able to kind of say anything. I personally don't read too much into it. A lot of people are saying that, he doesn't want to say anything because, everyone's funds are lost, or he doesn't want to get sued. I think there's just a lot of legal issues that are happening right now, regardless of how the situation resolves. Even if the situation was like Celsius would allow everyone to kind of withdraw all their assets over time, there are certain things that he can or cannot say. Just keep in mind that Celsius is an international company. It's not just like it's not just a company that is in one particular country. So I think the lawyers are just very cognizant, just reminding him to be very, very careful of his words. What else do I think about the situation? I mean, Celsius continues to pay off, some of their debt to kind of keep lowering their liquidation price, which is another promising sign. Interest yield continues to accrue to our account on a weekly basis, so another promising sign. So the honest truth is no one really knows what's happening with the situation. Everything is speculation at this point. There's people that are massive FUD all over YouTube saying that Celsius is done. Everyone has lost their coins. Everyone has lost their assets. There are other people, myself included, that believe the situation is just not as bad as everyone makes it seem. I still am firm in my belief that this is a short-term liquidity crisis. It's not signs of a company that is insolvent. I'm still confident in the fact that, one of the largest pension funds in Canada did their due diligence and research and deemed Celsius to be an institutional grade investment just about 6 months back in November. Those are things that I still believe firmly, and I still believe very much in the power of the community, that there's a lot of people really want Celsius to pull through out of this. There's a lot of people that want Celsius to die as well, possibly some of its competitors. But Celsius dying, I think, would just have ripple effects all throughout the crypto community. Like, if, let's say, the worst case scenario were to happen, let's say Celsius went under, everyone lost all their coins. Like, in that particular situation, that's one person that would never ever return to crypto ever again. They're not going to use BlockFi, they're not going to use crypto.com, they're not going to use Binance, FTX. They will not come back to crypto. They will tell their friends and family to stay away from crypto. They're just not going to come back, right? Like, they've had such a negative experience in crypto. I think it just hurts the entire crypto community. So anyone that is rooting for Celsius to die or for them to disappear off the map, just be very careful what you wish for. I think it's just gonna have a very, very negative ripple effect all around. Now, there are rumors on the internet that Celsius was partially responsible for the collapse of UST, the stable coin that ultimately led to the collapse of the entire Luna ecosystem, where Celsius pulled out in time, but other exchanges were not so lucky. They were left holding the bag. And some of these, institutions and individuals, I'm not going to name any names, wanted to get their revenge tour on Celsius. So Celsius was specifically attacked. So they basically sold their staked ether just to ensure that Celsius would have some of these liquidity issues. After that, they created this entire FUD campaign on YouTube and on Twitter by telling everyone that Celsius is illiquid, Celsius has problems, everyone should run away from Celsius, which ended up causing this entire bank run and this liquidity crisis. And just keep in mind, this is only 6 months ago. Celsius was vetted by a large pension fund that made almost a $500 million investment into the company. So these are guys that did 6 to 8 months of due diligence. I've been through due diligence exercises before in my career, and I know it's not like a 1 month or 2 month thing. It's a very long time. It's a very long process before, any of those things can actually end up resolving. And sometimes there's due diligence done and investments never happen. So the fact that a big pension plan in Canada, actually one of the largest, would make that significant investment is a very assuring sign to me. Now, I know there's a lot of fear and rumors going on in the internet, so I just like to stick with the facts. The facts is that right now, no one knows whether Celsius is insolvent or illiquid. My personal belief is that it is a temporary liquidity crisis. Celsius cannot make good on all the assets that you have lent them, that you want to pull out. I believe once again that this is a short-term liquidity crisis, that Celsius cannot right now honor everyone's withdrawals if everyone chose to do so at the very same time, because this is like a bank run. In fact, any bank cannot do that. They don't have the liquidity for it. But I do believe it is a short-term situation that will resolve over time. However, I do believe the team is looking at creative financing solutions to allow people to get some of that liquidity, not all of it all at once, but some of that liquidity. That is my own speculation, my own personal belief. I could be completely wrong. For example, one form of liquidity that no one has really ever talked about is the upcoming Celsius credit card. Let's say you have a large amount of assets on your Celsius account, and that is kind of locked up right now. You cannot withdraw. One way that Celsius could possibly give you some of that liquidity that you wanted is, let's say you were to get a Celsius credit card, you were to use that Celsius credit card and pay off some of your balance with some of the assets in your account. So that could be a potential solution. I don't know if that will materialize or not, but there are creative financing solutions that are available that I'm sure Celsius is exploring. Final thing is just remember to stay positive. I know it's very difficult to stay positive during these times, but very important to look after your physical and mental health, because that is the most important asset you have over any crypto holdings that you have. Just remember that there's a lot of people in the exact same shoes as you that also have assets in Celsius. There are a lot of people that I talk to that have a lot of faith that things will be fine. There's also a lot of people that want Celsius to die. I don't know why, because a death of Celsius would once again have ripple effects all over the crypto industry. Like, even if you were a competitor, I would still want Celsius to survive, because if And finally, I just hope everyone stays positive during this tough time. I know it's a very challenging time with the entire crypto market and kind of the entire situation with Celsius, but please make sure you take care of your physical and mental health as well during this period of time. Your crypto assets or money can always be made back, but your health can never be made back, okay? All right, so I'm gonna keep staying positive. I'm gonna go make some product reviews. I hope you guys stay positive as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.